Let's preview University of Utah visiting Utah State. So Utah versus Baylor. The Utes obviously jump out to a pretty quick 17-point lead by the end of the first quarter. I mean, they end up blocking a field goal, returning it for a touchdown, and they looked pretty well to be in firm control of this game. It was, and then Cam Rising running to the sideline to throw a pass, hurting his hand, and exiting the game.
2 questions on that. One, like, I know this guy's getting his money regardless. What is it going to take for someone to tell him just to slide or just to step out of bounds or just not try and run over the 300-pound guy in front of him? You know, like, what is he doing? Like, he could have avoided it
another half second because he's always looking down the field. That's just Cam Rising. If there is a play downfield that he can get another half second to get a window open or to throw somebody open, he is going to try to utilize every single second that he can so that he can make a play down the field.
Someone needs to talk to that guy just to, you know, you don't need to, like, you're going to win this game. With Cam Rising,
you're in firm control of this game too.
You made it quite clear at this point that the offense could have whatever they wanted in this game. It's infuriating watching this guy play because he is so talented, and you could automatically see the drop off after he came out of the game. Like, the Utes could have whatever they wanted, offensively with Cam under center.
Yeah, and with Cam behind center, it's a completely different football team.
Yeah,
because the fact is if you load the box and try to stop the run, they're going to throw it over your head.
Yeah,
if you want to drop 2 deep safeties, they'll just pound the ball right up the middle with Mekhi Bernard for 46 carries a game. Mm-hmm. And we may only get 3 yards a carry, but guess what? That's actually all we need.
That's all we need.
You know what I mean?
We'll control the clock.
3.5, we're good with it. Yeah, we'll
control
just
the
burn
clock
this
for the rest
thing.
of the game.
Yeah.
We'll score 1 touchdown, and you'll touch the ball once that whole entire quarter, entire half. But the other thing is that hit. I'm sorry, but that had to have been. I don't know anybody in that stadium that did not see that as an illegal hit.
It was really late, and
it's not the hit, it's
justification.
The push.
Yeah, the justification is they initiated contact before he was out of bounds, and Witt's explanation was it looks like he pushes off when Cam's already out of bounds, and
that's what I'm saying.
Some extracurricular there.
Yeah,
I mean I agree, and
the hit was before. It's the push after when he's already falling over.
Yeah, and I think thing is if Cam doesn't get hurt on this, we never bat an eye at it.
Oh, I strongly disagree. Strongly. How much did we talk last week about when he took that hit on the first play against Southern Utah?
Yeah,
we spent 5 minutes on that last week.
Yeah,
you think this isn't going to be any different? Yeah. He literally gets knocked into a Gatorade cooler table. You don't think we're not going to talk about it?
I mean, I think if he's fine though, you just go. You just know that's who Cam is as a player.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
Ultimate competitor.
They have a gauntlet coming up. If you're telling me what the deal with Isaac Wilson going into Big 12 play, that option does not look so sweet.
Yeah, because I mean, and just to kind of get back to the Baylor recap, right? We see Cam go down. We see Isaac Wilson head back out of the field, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it all of a sudden feel like a flashback to last season?
Oh my gosh. I think those 2 things. One, Cam needs to learn to not risk it all for that one play.
Yeah.
He's got a season to think of, and he's got a team counting on him. 2, to me, that hit definitely was definitely not kosher. I did not like that hit at all.
I don't like him taking it. I don't like it getting dealt either, because you know that every single player on the Baylor defense knows that Cam Rising is the key to the season for Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but you're watching and the offense very much turns into don't lose this football game, right? They go on a streak of running the ball, playing it very safe. I mean, we saw some good stuff. Mekhi Bernard had a few really good runs, but I mean, realistically, the offense couldn't manage to even score a touchdown in the second half, and it's concerning because Isaac Wilson is, for all we know and all I think everybody else knows, the future of the quarterback position at the University of Utah. He's that guy. He's shown it. He beat out a previous 5-star recruit, a 4-star recruit. And he is supposed to be the guy that can come out on the field and lead us if we need him to. And so far, he hasn't done any of that.
Right.
I think a big thing. So, I mean, jumping into Utah versus Utah State. Looking at this game, you got to look at what Utah State just did last week. They got, again, absolutely hammered by USC. The score is 48-0. I watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost the whole game I watched. And the Utah State defense is atrocious. USC was running the ball all over them. Their quarterback, Miller Moss, looks like he's going to be a pretty solid player. He's going to be able to pass the ball. They didn't need any of that. They weren't showing any of their playbook. They were literally just handing it, going down the middle, 5-6 yards. And I could see Utah doing very much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Utah's offensive line is much better than USC's is. It typically is.
Right.
So Utah could very much command the game with that point. And then I think once you get a lead, you maybe you open it and let Isaac throw the ball where there is some margin for error there. Get him some quality reps against Utah State's a good football team. They have talent on that roster. Wilson needs to see some of that, right? Like he does need the opportunity to throw the ball and get comfortable throwing the ball. But I mean, my personal opinion is they need to give him some opportunities to gain some rhythm in some of these. Like they're calling down the field shots and expecting him to put it on the money like he's Cam Rising, and give him a few passes in the flat or some crossing slant routes or something, right? Like let the kid get a feel for the game and the speed of his receivers and gain some confidence. And if he can do that, I think that he has a good chance of showing that he is ready to be in this spotlight, because it's a big one, man. I mean, being the quarterback at the University of Utah is no joke.
No, it's not. And, when it comes to that, I think you hit on the key thing on my notes there when it comes to the piece that's updating this. And it goes back to that USC game, getting hammered by them. It was pretty much a run attack pretty much the whole game. They can do whatever they wanted there. And I think that's exactly what the Utes are going to do. And I think that's why you don't want to risk Cam. Isaac Wilson can just basically hand off the ball. They can run the football, give him a chance to do exactly what you want, which is run, get a chance to get familiar with those receivers and kind of just take the reins for this game. And your defense is going to keep you in on this one. So they're favored by what? Is it 20 points?
The opening line is Utah by 20.5.
Yeah, that's without knowing whether or not Cam's going to start or not. So
right,
I just think that you just don't want to risk it, man. Even if he can play, what if he re-aggravates that finger? Or
I think if they do it, I think they say Cam is available, but we're going to give Wilson the start.
Right. Okay.
Because you want to let your fans know that that Cam Rising's good. He's good to go, and then also give him the confidence that we feel like Wilson should start this game.
Yeah,
because of Cam.
Yeah, if they get in trouble, they get down early, then I can totally see them switching it up. But I just don't think, because you've got a gauntlet coming up for the University of Utah after when they open up Big 12 play.
The next game against Oklahoma State is where the season may start and end. You know
Agreed.
what I mean? They can lose this game and still become conference champions, but that's a tough test. And maybe you're right for that exact point, is you don't go in there with anything but 100% Cam Rising.
I agree. That's exactly where I'm sitting on that. I just don't think it's worth the risk. And then after that, I believe you got Arizona at home. Our Big 12 schedule didn't look as
it's not as daunting as the other ones are. We missed Kansas and Kansas State.
However, the teams that we are playing are looking better than expected for these first 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Arizona State on our schedule. We do have Colorado. We should absolutely dominate. There is some games in there that are going to test the Utes, but my big question for the Utah versus Utah State game is who's going to be the starting quarterback, because Spencer Petras was who they announced as a starting quarterback. He goes out in their first game,
right,
versus Robert Morris, and then obviously they bring in Mr. Bryson Barnes. Go Utes.
That's right.
And he goes on to win the first game.
So we have Oklahoma State on September 21st. That's the game that's going to make or break this season for the Utes. And then after that, you have Arizona at home.
Yep.
And then you have Arizona State on the road.
Yeah.
And then you have TCU at home.
Right.
So, that's kind of a gauntlet, man. That's a tough 4 games to play right out the gate into, yes, Arizona State, that one.
But you're still on the road.
You're still on the road, and I think that could be a trap game for the Utes, because they're going to probably be looking past to see TCU, so there's some chances there that they might. So I don't know. Everybody's kind of looking past that and saying, our schedule's not that bad, and BYU has a tougher conference schedule than Utah has. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at Arizona, who is in the top 25 poll. I'm looking at Oklahoma State, who's just right below us at like 13, and we're at 12. And then TCU, man, they're no slouch, man. I don't think it's going to be as easy as everybody thinks. And I definitely think that while the Oklahoma State game is going to be the key piece for this season, I don't think that's the only game we need to worry about, in the next 4 games. So yeah, I definitely think you keep Cam healthy for that. You don't even risk it. Don't even put him in the game.
I'm curious to see what they do.
I think I don't know. I could see them going either way on that one.
Yeah,
we want to hear what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about your Utah football team. Do you think that Cam Rising is going to make a return at this game, or do you think he's actually still injured and is going to be out that game? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below for sure.
Yeah.